YouTube was a sphere I never explored or like worked in before, right? I only focus on television. Listen, this is also a kind of a depressing moment in my life because this is a point where I had to choose between passion and career, right?
Welcome to the first episode of Behind the Frames. Today we have Ronald Chen. Ronald Chen is a director for CantoMando, a YouTube channel that focuses on Asian heritage, culture, and food. And Ronald is also someone who is deeply creative and deeply relentless about making the best videos.
I don't see success as there's always gonna be success in the end. Because at the end of the day, if a video does really well, it does make me happy. I do feel successful, but I can go bigger.
And today in this conversation, we talked about how he developed his early interest in media and production. We talked about how he stumbled across CantoMando. And last but not least, we also talked about the creative process of making videos at a scale like CantoMando. And welcome to my conversation with Ronald. Welcome to the pod.
Yo, thanks for having me, bro. I'm excited to see I'm excited, man. Yo, one day, hey, for all you guys watching, one day he's gonna go from me to like Simu Liu or something. All right, he's gonna go big. Remember this guy's name. Put some respect on this guy's name. Remember him. All right. But, yeah.
Thanks for the kind words.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course, always.
You've been known as the fourth man at CantoMando.
Some people. Fourth member. I know a lot of people do say that. Honestly, it kind of flatters me, but at the end of the day, I gotta be humble with it and be like, I'm just working with the guys, you know what I mean? But if we're part of the team, we're part of the team, so I'll just accept
it. Sweet. I remember you growing up, like you have always been interested in film, media, photography. Was there a pivotal moment or like a role model that you have that made you realize you really want to do this as your career?
Yeah, for sure, man. So for all you guys that don't know, I'll give a bit of context. Me and Alex, we known each other since like 10th grade. Like we went to high school together. We didn't really talk much in high school, had separate friend groups, but essentially, yeah, like I was mainly in like the art sector of high school. And honestly, I think the main reason is because of my family, right? Asian people always are in like the math, the science, all that shit, right? Can I swear, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all that very smart shit, right? And me in high school, I was not the smartest kid in school, bro. I remember math class, bro, 50, 60%. Science class, worse, bro, 40, bro. Lower than 50. Bro, I failed science, bro. I was the only Asian in my class that failed, bro. I was embarrassed. But I know at that point on, I realized that this type of Asian stereotype, like, career stuff is not for me. So grade 10 came along, and that's when I took Comtech, which is communications technology. And that's when I started learning more about photography and film. And I was like, oh shit, this is pretty cool. And when long story short, I was taught how to take photos properly. I was taught how to film properly. And grade 11 came, and that's when I essentially got into production, like actually wanting to pursue film and photography. So in grade 11, I did co-op at Rogers TV as a production assistant. So there I filmed, I edited, I did audio work, stuff like that. And, as a 16-year-old, you don't really get that like that often. The opportunity comes like once in a lifetime. And I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. And after that co-op term ended, I was like, yeah, this is something I want to get into, man. Like that's where I kind of developed more of a passion, and that's why in grade 12 I started becoming more serious about the industry. And and also in grade 12 I stopped taking the science, I stopped taking math. All my courses in grade 12 were just fucking art, bro, media stuff. I mean, my family were a little bit skeptical at first because my whole family is in science and business and stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm like, let me do something ambitious and prove my family wrong.
That's awesome, man. That's
super
cool.
Yeah, man.
You said earlier when you were a PA for Rogers TV, can you tell us a little bit more about what exactly did you do there and what's your favorite part?
Oh yeah, for sure. So at Rogers TV, okay, usually when you do co-op in high school, for all you guys who did do co-op in high school, you guys have like a certain schedule to follow, right? Sometimes like you have morning co-op, you have afternoon co-op. I was the afternoon co-op, but that doesn't necessarily mean quote unquote afternoon co-op. Sometimes we had to do early shoots in the morning. So before going to school, I had to do early shoots and go to like sets to film stuff because they have morning shows to produce. And also we had to do after school. So that whole co-op afternoon co-op thing, I just stayed at home and until my co-op started, which is 5 p.m. right? And I think my most favorite part about co-op was pretty much filming the live productions. Usually they host live shows and stuff, so they have live hockey, live basketball, and live like host sit down type of interviews. And those are probably my favorite ones, mainly because there's free food. In co-op you don't get money in high school. the only free thing I got was food, right? And I love food, but at the same time, like, it was very fun. Like, the people working in the evening were much more like energetic, and I like that. And that's why I realized, oh shit, teamwork's cool. Like, teamwork in this production side of things is like, it's a good thing, and I like teamwork. I'm extroverted as shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, I like talking to people and stuff. So yeah, that was my most favorite moment doing co-op at Rogers.
See, after grade 12, when you took all the art classes, you were applying
Yeah.
to university, and you got into Toronto Metropolitan University in
Yeah.
media production. So at that time, like, what were the paths that you were considering, and did creator like even play a role in that?
Yeah, for sure. So a little background. Media production at Ryerson is apparently, okay, it is, I shouldn't say apparently, it is one of the top programs in North America for this type of stuff. I didn't know this at the time. I applied and I got accepted. Okay, you have to go through a lot of stuff. So get into media production, you have to write a resume. You have to show like a portfolio, from what I remember. You have to answer 3 questions in like paragraphs. So I wrote like an essay for that. But anyways, and after that, you have to do an interview because they have to accept you. They have to accept you twice. They accept you for an interview and they accept you into the program. It's like it's like getting a job, bro. I'm just like, what the hell? Anyways, when I got accepted, I was like, all right, cool, whatever. It's a program at TMU, whatever. It's TMU. It's not like Waterloo, right? Whatever. I got it. I remember walking in first day orientation. They're like, all right, so 600 of you, 3,000 people applied to this program. We only accepted 300 people. I'm just like, I just sat there with my mouth open, like, I'm gonna mention again, I was not the brightest and smartest kid in school. So when I got that acceptance and hearing that, I got more humbled, bro. I was like, okay, cool. I need to take this program seriously, right? And yeah, so let me give you a bit of background of what media production is. And media production is essentially what it is. Like, you can either go into graphic design, production, audio, all that different sectors of media production. And I know at the time in first year, I wanted to settle down on a much safer option by going into television production. That was my main goal. I want to go into television production, start off as like a cameraman, and work my way up towards a producer and director, because that's ultimately what everyone wanted in this program. They want to be a director or a producer. Ask anyone that program, they want to be one of those. But yeah, that's what happened in my first couple of years. I just wanted, play the safe route, yeah, stuff like that.
And have you ever thought of being in the role that you are right now, working for creators or working as a creator at the time? When you
honestly, bro, I'll be very honest with you. I did not expect. Okay, like, YouTube was always in the back of my mind, because even in high school, like, I always loved the idea of working at YouTube and stuff. And even when I was like younger, like, I watch I watch YouTube every time I got home, right? Even in uni, I always loved working at YouTube. Would love to work for like a YouTube channel, right? But obviously, I know that in my mind at the time when I was younger in first year, it wasn't realistic in my head. It wasn't viable, and it was too ambitious for me. I wasn't an ambitious person back then. Like, I legit did not think that YouTube would work out and everything. So that's why I stuck with the safe option, which is television production. That's essentially what most people get out of this program, television production. And at the time, I'm just like, you know what? I love YouTube. I would love to work for a YouTube opportunity. But honestly, I'm just going to stick with the safe plan, because I don't know. At the time, I just wasn't too ambitious, man. I wasn't ambitious enough like I am today. So yeah.
I see. And in your second year of university, COVID hit.
Yes, sir.
And you picked up a bunch of freelancing gigs and trying different things. Like, what was going on? What's going on in COVID?
Yeah, so, okay, let me give you a bit of more background of COVID, bro. Let me give you a bit of background. So online school started happening when I was in third year. So I finished my second year in person. And third year was supposed to be the most important year for people in my program, right? Because that's when you actually get into the hands-on stuff. You learn more about how to like film in a proper set and everything, and studio and everything. But when we got hit with COVID, bro, everything was online, bro. So all I did was do editing courses. And I'm gonna keep it real, bro. I hate editing. Like, I legit hate like sitting on a computer all day just like typing stuff, bro. I can't do that. My brain hurts. I need to go out and film. So while that was happening, while classes were happening, I did pick up a few photography gigs, like with like, some friends, stuff like that. And that's when, I can't lie, that was probably the point of my life where I was so confused of what to do, because I was worried that I won't get into television production field because I don't have enough experience working with the school and everything. I don't have the hands-on experience anymore. And plus, doing all these photography gigs made me think, oh shit, should I be a photographer instead, right? So during that point in COVID, that the third year, my third year of uni, the whole year, I was just depressed and like confused. I'm like, yo, bro, what should I do, man? Like, I was actually lost. Like, my brain was in like clouds, bro. I was legit lost and could not see what the hell I'm going to do in my future. Because yeah, COVID did hit pretty hard, and like, I was so confused what to do. School, was canceled and shit. Like, dude, I was lost, man. Like, like I don't like looking back at third year, bro. It's a haunting memory.
I see. And I think that's a perfect segment to, let's say, the beginning of fourth year. It was towards the
Yeah,
end of 2021.
exactly. Oh yeah, bro. Let me add something on too, bro. Fourth year, I at the time when online school started, no one knew when if fourth year was gonna be online as well. You know, a lot of my friends actually took third year and third year off until school opened up again, which is a very smart decision by their choice because I know they're doing really well now. But anyways, I didn't, right? I didn't do that because I still thought like, okay, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. And yeah, fourth year was supposed to be the a crucial year where we're supposed to pick an internship, right, to work at in order to graduate. So even at that time in third year when all the schools were closed, I was like, shit, fourth year I had to do an internship. So what the fuck should I do, right? I was lost, bro. I was angry, bro. I was fighting my inner demons and shit. It's a crazy time, bro. But yeah, thank God fourth year opened up. So I was like, oh, pray the Lord, bro. But yeah.
Like in the beginning of fourth year, you stumble on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Someone from Canton posted a story looking for a filmer.
Yep.
You spoke to them, you reply, you pitched them for the role. Like, what happened? What happened behind the scenes?
I'll give a little extra depth of my story, bro. It's kind of funny. So what happened was my friend, pretty much his name's Wilson, and Wilson kind of forwarded me to CantoMando's story saying, hey, they're looking for a videographer for X on this date. I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. Let me just like reply. Because they said basically I had to send them like a portfolio to them. I sent them my email and I said, hey, I've been big fans of you guys since high school. I did watch them since high school. I'm pretty sure all of us did. But anyways, yeah, I sent a little introduction. I sent them my portfolio. Boom, sent it. At first I was thinking, at that point after I sent it, I was thinking about my plan. Okay, cool. I have an idea. So my plan was find an intern at a television production. Trying my best to find an internship at a television production company, as well as work at Canton part-time. So that way I can have two experiences, right? Only if I get accepted though. That was my plan. And then I gave it a couple hours, and boom, Sheldon from CantoMando responded saying, hey man, like let's go on a call, let's talk, right? And at that point I was like, oh shit, he accepted me. And right away I was like, okay, fuck this. Maybe I should say fuck this television production stuff, right? And just go straight to YouTube. But I didn't want to be too, again, I was very, very pussy back then, bro. I was scared of ambition. I was too scared of failure. That's us Asians, bro. Anyways, yeah, so me and Sheldon talked, and he talked about what he wanted, and I told him, okay, cool, I can do it. Long story short, he kind of brought me into the team as like a videographer. By the way, just a videographer. I wasn't anything like top notch. I was just a videographer, just filming stuff for them. That's it. But yeah, I went to one of the shoots. I helped them film, and it was a good time. Yeah, and after that, they kind of brought me on slowly to more shoots. And this is first semester of uni, by the way. So by the time first semester ended, I think I only filmed 2 projects with them, only very little. And then that was a time when we had to accept internships. So throughout first semester, I did hit some luck. I got accepted by like 4 internships by big television productions companies, like, for example, CTV, CBC. I got accepted to them, right? And TSN as well, to work with the Raptors and stuff. Hey man, like, or it's like safety career. Because at the time, like even like at the time choosing, I was just like, I was stuck in like a loop of like, I have these 2 directions and they'll bring me to 2 different destinations. Which one should I choose? Either going to safe route of what I always want to do since first year, the safe route of, going to television production right after uni, or try and aim for this YouTube stuff. Because both of them kind of offered me internship. I also told CantoMando about the internship options, and they told me they're down to give me an internship with them as well. And you know what, bro? I kind of just, when I deep down in my heart, I want to do YouTube, right? Like I was just like, I had to do YouTube. There's no way. There's a once in a lifetime opportunity. This is something I always want to do since I was a kid. And yeah, I know, and like deep down inside, and to be transparent with you, I know the internships at the television companies did pay way more than CantoMando. I'm not trying to make CantoMando sound poor. I'm just saying, but like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but I want to do passion. I want to see what passion can bring me, and since I'm young, right? I'm early 20s, living my life. And I told my parents about it. They said, go for CantoMando and see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, you can always go back to television. So what I did, I had to send the depressing 4 letters to say, hey, I sadly, unfortunately, have to decline this letter of acceptance. I appreciate the offer, and I just went straight for working with CantoMando, and that's how my journey began, bro. Internship, bro. CantoMando. You know what the funniest part is? I remember some of my friends were talking, right? They're talking about like, oh yeah, intern at like these like big production companies, right? And they're talking about what they do and everything, and there's me like, yeah, I do YouTube, bro. I just film and stuff. But yeah, it's funny, bro. It's contrast.
What was what was the hardest part of like rejecting all like the big offers or like the television, TV production offers to go for CantoMando? What was like the biggest barrier to
I
accepting
th-
that?
I think the biggest barrier for me, at least, was being too like it was just the fear, right? It's a big leap of faith, right? It's a very
Mm.
big leap of faith because I don't know what YouTube can offer. At the time I didn't know what YouTube can offer. I don't know where YouTube can bring me. And at the time, you have to realize, you have to put yourself in my shoes for a second. YouTube was a sphere I never explored or like worked in before, right? I only focus on television. I only know shit about television. I knew nothing about YouTube, but I know deep down I can learn from this. I can benefit from it. But obviously, there's a lot of doubt in my head, and that was what was making me scared of the future. What if I don't succeed in this? What if I spend so many hours working for this YouTube company and nothing comes out of it? What if I waste my time? I think that was the biggest barrier for me, just a fear of failure in this sphere that I was very passionate in. Because yeah, like truth be told, I was more passionate in YouTube than television, even though I had experience in television, right? So yeah.
That's awesome. That's such a phenomenal perspective.
Yeah,
Like, thanks
bro.
for sharing.
That's why I encourage people. Like, that's why when people come up to me and be like, "Should I pick this or pick this?" I tell them right away, pick whatever you're most passionate in, man. Like, even though the scenario of it that you think in your head might not be the best, go for it. You're young. It doesn't hurt to try, right? That's my best advice for people. Don't always pick the safe option. Be ambitious.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
So in terms of, let's say, after the fact, after you started working as a videographer for CantoMando, I remember one of the videos, it was the IKEA videos. It was a hide and seek videos.
Yeah, that was when I first appeared in their videos. Yeah.
Yeah, so you were voicing over when they were giving the task, giving the rewards.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Yeah, bro. Like, I mean, okay. So that was the first. The IKEA eating at IKEA video was the first video where I appeared in, but it wasn't the first video that I gave out cards to. Right? There's a lot of other videos before where I did hand out cards and everything, but I just didn't show my face. And even so, cumulative, all those those experiences are just giving, like, being part of the video. It was just a surreal experience because at first I was very shy. I was very shy to like talk, even talk, right? Like, obviously I'm behind the camera. I'm like, all right, guys, here's your challenge for today. You know what I mean? There's so many retakes we had to do because I was so nervous. I kept stuttering and shit. I was nervous, bro. But I think over time, even so when I appeared in front of the IQ video, that was when at a point where I was like, I think 8 months working with them, and that was when I was already comfortable talking to the camera. But if you look at the earlier videos, I believe there's a video called here, search this up. There's a video called portion, what's it called, serving size challenge CantoMando, search of that, but serving size CantoMando. And I was in the video giving them challenges, and that was basically the early stages of my career with them. And that's when I kind of had to talk to the camera, give context to the audience. And also the first video I actually talked in was a 10,000 calorie challenge, because that was the first video I ever planned.
No, I'm just curious, like, when you started off as a videographer, like, at the beginning, you're responsible for like a lot of shooting, some of the planning, and you slowly evolve to your current role as a director for CantoMando.
Yes.
So can you tell me a little bit of sort of the scope of each role? So what do you do? How do you spend time?
I see. Oh, so you want me to specify like the different role that I took part in, right? Okay, I see. Yeah, so when I started interning at CantoMando as just a videographer, I was just a videographer intern. All I really did, to be told, I didn't plan any videos like when I was an intern. They did, not me. But yeah, I was just filming for them. That's all I did. And they also, what else did I do? I also edited some videos as well. So I filmed for them, and I also kind of scheduled some stuff as well. But it's very basic stuff, which I was cool with, right? And at the same time, I also had to take a YouTube course with them, because at the time they just started taking a YouTube course, and I also took part in that YouTube course. So that's why I was like, thank God, because now I know more about YouTube, right? And develop what makes quote unquote good content. But yeah, so that's what I did in terms of my videographer intern. When I became producer, let me give you a bit of story as well. So when my school year ended, I had a long talk with them regarding full-time, because it's true, I can't graduate and go straight into television production if I don't have any job experience, except for Rogers back in 5 years ago, and like some courses, right? It's very hard to get a job, and I told them about that. They're aware of it, and they made the ultimate decision to hire me as their first ever full-time person that's part of the team. And that was a very humbling experience as well. It generally did almost make me cry when they kind of told me, hey, you know what, because they had to talk, right? They had to talk for a straight week, talking about like how they can bring me to the team. And that's essentially a week after, they put me on call with them. Sheldon recorded my reaction. So hey, if this podcast gets 1,000 likes, I'll release a reaction of me. Anyways. Yeah, Sheldon told me, and I was so happy, bro. Like they gave me they basically talked about the salary with me, my responsibilities, stuff like that. So I was flabbergasted, bro. I was lost for words. I was very happy, having a job right after uni. Not a lot of people get that, so I was very, very happy. But anyways, yeah. So my jobs going forward as a quote producer / director, whatever you want to call it, with CantoMando. Obviously, responsibility is still the same as a videographer, because I was still a videographer. I was still filming with them. But this time I had to take more of a leadership role. They wanted to shift me to planning videos, start planning videos, brainstorming ideas, scouting the YouTube homepage to see what other cool ideas we can do, stuff like that. And also start scheduling, but that's later. But yeah. So as I became producer longer and longer, they gave me more leadership responsibilities. And that's why they kind of let me have control of the channel as well as Mike. Because currently, Sheldon and Edward, they don't have control of the channel anymore. It's mainly me and Mike taking that leadership responsibility to lead that channel. So yeah.
That's so phenomenal. Like,
yeah, bro.
For those who don't know, like CantoMando is an Asian heritage YouTube channel about 3 guys, Sheldon, Mike, and Edward, who started in university and are now working full-time with over 1 million subscribers. And now a lot of content evolves around food. But back then, like it started with skits, started with comedy, started with reactions, started with games, started with dating, blind dates. And I'm curious, like, how did you guys as a group like come to the idea that you are going to double down on food?
Yeah. Okay. So what happened was so the whole food idea was kind of like out of the blue, because when I got hired, the first 2 videos I filmed, so as an intern, not full time. So this is back in like, I'm going backwards now, back to when I first started interning with them. The 2 projects I filmed with them was videos that relate to like Chinese culture, right? Very Chinese culture, not food at all, not food related. So the biggest reason why we started niching down to food is because after we took that YouTube course and we determined what is good content, and we determined that we had to niche down to more specific and more broad to reach a wider audience if we want to be super successful, right? And yeah, we decided to, we brainstormed a lot of stuff. I mean, it's mainly them. I was still part of it. I was still interning back then. But anyways, they decided to come up with food. And that's when they went up to me one day and be like, hey, yo, Ronnie, we're going to start doing food videos now. At first, I was like, okay. At first, it was very hard to clear image in my head, because in my head, and I'm pretty sure all of us, when we're like fans of CantoMando back then, we see them as a Chinese content type of creators, right? At first, I was very skeptical, but I didn't tell them, by the way. So you're the first person to know that I was skeptical. But yeah, I was very skeptical, but yeah, I went along with it. I was so curious, because I did watch food videos. I'm not, I know what food entertainment is. I watch Sidemen. Sidemen does a lot of food and entertainment videos. So yeah, so the 10,000 calorie challenge, that I think that was our first ever food video that we released. And that was actually, that's a video I planned as well. So I actually did some planning for that video.
I see. What was your favorite part about like the 10,000 calories videos?
Then Edward had to eat dirty food for 10,000 calories, which is like junk food, and Mike has to eat healthy food for 10,000 calories.
Yeah. What was your favorite part?
I think my favorite part, in terms of the video, or I have to talk about both. So in terms of the video, I think my favorite part is obviously like giving out the challenge, because the challenges they don't know. Only I knew, right? They don't know anything about the challenges. Only I know. So it's funny just giving them the challenge, kind of be like, all right, here you go. Yeah. And I guess my other favorite part that's outside of filming was developing a closer bond with Mike, because that day Edward and Sheldon filmed together, whereas I filmed with Mike. So I filmed Mike alone, right? And I think every time when I shut off the camera, like pause the camera, whatever, me and Mike walking around, we just talk about life. And I think, yeah, I can't lie, like me and Mike like do connect more than Sheldon and Edward. No offense, Sheldon and Edward. I'd love them both to death, but yeah, me and Mike, I think like there's a lot of talks between me and Mike that I do cherish forever, and I do take in. Because I did tell him about my situation, how I was so like not ambitious and everything, and he told me to be ambitious, right? He told me to chase my dreams. If YouTube is your dream, you keep chasing it. And that's what kind of kept me like on the team, kept me motivated to look forward to shoot more, right? Developing those bonds with these guys, like it made me feel like, oh shit, okay, they're not only my bosses, they're like family, right? So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What was like one biggest piece of advice that you got from like the team
Yeah,
in
for
Canada?
sure. Yeah, so I think so. The biggest advice, let me think, because he actually gave me a lot of advice. Let me think. So, okay, I think the biggest advice I got was being more confident within myself and being more confident in the choices I make in life. Because I know when I first started working with them, I would say yes, man. I would say yes to everything. I wouldn't ever give feedback, even though I know it's bad, because they're my boss, right? Therefore, I should, because I had that mentality back then where I was like, okay, they're my boss. If they say something, it should be right. And they started to pick up on that at one point when I was interning. And they kind of sat me down and told me, hey, yo, Ronnie, we appreciate you helping us and everything, but we do appreciate if you give some input as well, because we don't always want you saying yes. We always want you to take, you're part of the team. We want you to have a voice on whatever we're wrong in, because, you're basically the fourth head for us. You're supposed to give your fourth opinion, and we value that. So, that kind of opened up my shell a little bit. That's when I became more confident, like with whatever ideas I have, which is why I think it brought me to this shit I am today. Because even now, like, I see the contrast between the conversation between me and Mike before and me and Mike now. Me and Mike before, he says something, I'd be like, all right, cool. And then Mike says something now, I'll be like, bro, that's terrible, bro. Let's not do that. But yeah, having confidence with myself is probably the best advice they ever gave me, because I definitely became more like talkative, right? Ever since I started working with them. So yeah.
Absolutely. Like when you four work together as a team in CantoMando, like do you have a routine briefing before every shoot, or like debrief after every post? Like how does these conversations look like?
Oh, bro, it's funny because, okay, briefing, I know that's something that we did in television, right? So I try to adapt those television skills into the YouTube, but sometimes it doesn't work, right? But before, when we first started filming, there was no brief. Like, okay, earlier there was kind of briefing because they planned the videos. But now when I started planning the videos, there was not really a briefing. We kind of just tell them about it and be like, okay, cool. But now I'm gonna give you a little bit of leak information, because these videos haven't came out yet. So all the videos that we filmed are all good until mid of November. So all those videos we brief for maybe like an hour, not that long. But now that we're coming up with these bigger ideas that's coming up soon, we had to brief for maybe like past next like few days, right? But yeah, usually briefing before, we kind of just go and call with them and just show them, hey, this is the idea. Just make sure to know what to do. That's it. It was very amateur. But now we're trying to go more like serious, where it's like, okay, scene by scene, this is what we're gonna do, right? Before, because like we're trying to aim for bigger ideas right now, but we haven't filmed it. We're gonna film it in next week actually. So yeah.
That's sweet. Hey,
maybe we can do a part 2 of this podcast where I update on what the briefing is like now, because we're gonna do series briefing now. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I also wanted to dive deeper into like earlier this year you went to LA with the CantoMando squad, and earlier this summer you also went to UK to work in collaboration with Uncle Rogers.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me a little bit about like what did you do in both of these trips, and what was it like just like traveling with the squad, with the team?
Yeah, for sure. Let's first talk about traveling with traveling there for work. So I went to LA twice with them, one in November of 2022 and then June of 2023, so a couple months ago. So both of these trips were very similar in ways where it's like we're basically just filming content in LA with other creators. That's essentially our plan. I mean, the first time we went to LA, there's a lot of flops, so we kind of just filmed our own videos there. But second time we went to LA, we filmed a lot of videos with other creators. But we have a motive behind that. Why? Because the second time we went to LA, we're trying to film content relating to the chili sauce, which is now released, by the way. Link in our YouTube channel. But yeah, we filmed that content. So second time I went to LA, we kind of filmed the chili sauce video content type of stuff. So yeah, so that's why I went to LA a second time. We filmed a lot there, by the way. So it was massive hours, bro. I worked for at least like 60 hours a week. It was very tiring. But anyways, and then UK, we just wanted to go there to film with Uncle Roger and also kind of explore the city because we haven't been there before. It was a nice little getaway, a little break from Toronto as well. But yeah, let me give you a back how traveling with the guys is. Fuck me, man. All I'm gonna say is like they're different people when you live with them, right? Because that was so when I went to LA with them for the first time, like I kind of see how they lived, right? Because I never really slept over with them before, essentially. But yeah, like it is pretty hectic, bro. Like they're a hectic type of guy. They have very, very big energy. You know what I mean? Like they always want to party and shit. You know, and for me, I'm not really a party guy. I'm more of like a stay at home kind of laid back type of guy. But they love to party, bro. But I will say the people they do hang out with are super phenomenal. Like I hated LA City, but the people of LA, I love them, bro. Like everyone from LA I met, amazing people. I'll never forget them. And yeah, like they're also creators as well, which is great. And I also learn a few things here and there from them. And yeah, in the UK, we mainly just chill with Uncle Roger for like 5 days straight. But chilling with Uncle Roger is kind of cool. You know what I mean? Because, I don't experience that. No, I don't think anyone my age will ever experience that. So, it's a humbling experience.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Is there something that is not so obvious about traveling for work that is often not portrayed on YouTube?
Yeah, so I think most people will probably think, people watching this are people who think of it like, oh, he's just going on a business trip to film stuff. We always have at least 1 or 2 days to have leisure. So that's something you guys don't understand. So I remember when we went to LA for the first time in November, we spent the last 3 days of our trip in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, we gambled, we went to casinos and shit, had a buffet and stuff. We chilled. And also in UK, like, yeah, we chilled for a good amount of time. Like we went to Opera House, which is kind of insane. I never experienced that either. Went to a musical, also never experienced that either. It just, we chill, we're humans. All of us are humans. We always need that break once in a while. You know what I mean? Like we're not going to just go there, film and go back. We're obviously going to chill there. You know what I mean? So yeah. I guess that's the biggest misconception a lot of people don't get. Because I know coming back, my mom was like, how hard did you work? I was like, oh, mom, I also chilled. Don't think I just work. But yeah.
That's awesome, man. Like, I wanted to switch gears a little bit about just your perspective on working for internet creators. So the first question is like, what would you say is like the best or the worst thing of working for an internet creator?
Best and worst thing for an internet creator. Okay, let me think about that. Okay. The best thing about working with a creator, in my perspective, is definitely meeting them, right? Because there's a lot of creators that we work with that I looked up to and watched as a kid. I wouldn't say a kid, but like, in high school and growing up, right? I'm pretty sure all of us are. Think about it. If you're in my shoes and you watch these creators for a long time and you get to meet them and work with them and you get to talk to them like, professionally and everything, wouldn't you feel a bit excited? You know what I'm saying?
Now you're part of the producing.
The thing is, like, okay, I'll give an example. When I met Uncle Roger for the very first time, I was like, hey, I had to call him by his real name. Hey, Nigel. Nice to meet you. I'm Ronald. Basically, the producer. This is what we're doing today. Brief him very professionally. But inside, I'm just like, oh shit, it's Uncle Roger. Shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I have to calm down, right? You know what I mean? I don't want to, like, because the thing is, like, I am part of like the guys, you know what I mean? I don't want to be like a fucking weird guy, I don't want to be, what I mean? I don't want to be a fanboy, but yeah, that's probably my most favorite thing about working with creators. The least favorite thing, I wouldn't say there's a least favorite thing. Actually, most of my experiences working with these creators, I actually enjoyed it. Like, I actually enjoyed it a lot. You know what I mean? Oh, I guess another favorite thing about working with these creators is getting an inside personal connection with them. You kind of get to know them more behind the camera, right? They're not really Uncle Roger, right? He known to be a very funny guy. That's his persona online, but in person, he's very, very nice and very chill and very he gives a lot of hospitality. So yeah, very different person. Very like you have to know something about these creators. They're not the same person they are in front of a camera. Behind the camera, they're a human, and that's when I kind of develop that human to human connection with them and develop a great relationship with them. So yeah.
I see. Mm-hmm. So when you first started working for CantoMando, or even now when you're doing collabs with people like Uncle Roger, have you felt imposter syndrome to any extent?
Imposter syndrome. So basically the idea of fear of like, oh shit, I'm not good enough. And shit like that, right?
Exactly.
Okay, let me think about that, because I know I did have imposter syndrome when I saw these creators, but I don't just... Okay, yeah. So, okay, there was a point in my life where when I began meeting these creators, right? In the very beginning, when I first met creators, I think it was back in the CCYA basketball game. I didn't film... Okay, I wouldn't say we collab with them, but I met them, right? Because, like, CantoMando and them were friends. I had to go meet them as well. But anyways, meeting them, it did give me that sign of imposter syndrome. I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing here, right? Like, I see all the people in the stands, like, basically people like me that I see myself as just normal people, and then I see myself on the court. I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing here, bro? Everyone on this court is more relevant than me. Everyone on this court is better than me, richer than me. What the fuck am I doing? I kind of shit on myself, right? But obviously, I had to, over time, I had to realize I had to see these creators more often because I had to work with them. This is YouTube. In YouTube, you had to work with these YouTube creators, celebrities, whatever. And if I worked in the television field, the same thing, but I had to work with celebrities, right? Think about. I just had to think about it that way. So in the end of the day, either way, if I chose television or YouTube, I'll always work with very big names, right? And yeah, so that's how I kind of got rid of that imposter syndrome type of feeling. So yeah.
Amazing. So how do you define success, like in your role? Like how
Success.
can you tell? Yeah, how can you tell you're doing great?
Got it. How do I know if I'm doing great? Okay. How I know if I'm doing successful and great is, honestly, I'm being very transparent as well, is the numbers. So numbers on YouTube really reflect my planning, right? And my filming. And if the numbers don't do well, I see it as I need to be better. I need to do so much fucking better, right? And if I do see a high number, I feel that little bit of success. The best way to describe it, I don't see success as there's always gonna be success in the end, because at the end of the day, if a video does really really well, it does make me happy. I do feel successful, but I can go bigger. Let's think of ways where this good video can be even beyond better. That's why I define as success. Always keep pushing your limit until you feel like, oh shit, this is really, really good. Keep pushing, you know what I mean? I only find myself successful until I'm better than Mr. Beast, bro. No cap.
Love that. I love that. So, like, okay. I'm curious. How has CantoMando changed your outlook on your career?
Okay. How has CantoMando shaped the way I see my career? Okay. I'm not gonna lie, after working with CantoMando for the past, was it 2023 now? September. Okay. After the past it's almost been 2 years since I worked with them. After these past 2 years, I start to realize that television is not it for me. Like, I know, I see the cool stuff my friends are doing, right? And good on them. It's sick. It looks cool. I see on the stories about what they do with these television companies. Good for them. I'm happy for them. But YouTube is completely different. I don't like YouTube. You get to travel and like film stuff, and I always wanted to travel as a kid. YouTube, you get to have your own creative freedom on what content to put out. If I work in television, someone's telling me to do that, telling me to, hey, film this, and I have no say in it. Like television, I know, like I love television. I can't lie. Television production is cool and everything, but YouTube, I'm sorry, bro. YouTube slaps the shit out of television. I'm sorry. Like YouTube is amazing, man. Like I can never see myself in the next couple of years working in television production unless I really have to, right? Like let's say I quit CantoMando one day. I'm gonna find another YouTube channel to work at. I'm not gonna work at a television company for sure. Like I definitely think that YouTube is for me. YouTube is definitely my space and my space of knowledge, and I definitely believe that I can grow within the YouTube sphere. So yeah.
If there are people who are tuning in or who are interested in pursuing a career in YouTube or working for YouTubers, is there a message that you want to share?
Oh, 100%. I have a lot of messages, bro. Anyone who is in a similar boat like me, where they're kind of stuck in that type of field, but they want to get into content creation within YouTube. It doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be TikTok, Instagram Reels, whatever it may be, whatever platform. As long as it relates to content creation, my biggest word of advice is just keep going for it. I wouldn't call myself a creator, but I do know enough to a point where, like, if CantoMando doesn't work, I want to be a creator. You know what I mean? I know enough to be ambitious to that point. Just be ambitious. Chase your dreams. If you truly, truly don't like the position you're in right now, do content creation. Like, truly, if you have a passion in content creation, strong passion, do it. Don't give up. And there's a lot of times where the numbers don't show. That just goes to show, hey, you need to work harder. Pick yourself back up. Find ways of how to make your content better. And then I guarantee you'll be successful. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Love that. Love that.
And also, I guess another thing I want to share is, like, also, if you're going to be in content creation and you do become big, be prepared for hate comments, bro. Because even as a producer and camera person, I got hate comments as well. And yeah, it did not feel good, bro. I legit didn't want to talk for like 2 days because I was actually so sad. How did I affect someone that much to the point where they talk shit about me? But at the end of the day, you have to face it, right? take all this shit talking as like okay, some of it is criticism, some of it is talking shit. If it's criticism, work towards how to make them feel better or make them feel satisfied. If it's talking shit, fuck the haters, man. They're just jealous of you, bro. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. Keep moving. But yeah.
Absolutely. Love that.
Yeah.
And overall, like, I know you mentioned like about hate comments, and obviously there are ups and downs. There's so many events. It feels like the past 2 years have gone through years of experiences
100%.
when you're making this much content.
Yeah.
What would you say it's like the most discouraging moment or like the hardest point when you were working for CantoMando?
Oh shit. Okay, that's a big question. That's a deep question, bro. The most depressing moment, right? Okay, I think there's a lot of discouraging moments where I would say it kind of happens most when I'm on these trips with these guys. Because I remember the second time we're in LA, they had a big fight. Okay, I wasn't involved in the fight, but they were fighting. And it kind of like makes me, like, when they argue or whenever they get mad at each other, whether it be we're lost on vacation, they even argue at home sometimes. But I know like in LA, like it was a pretty big fight. And I know that was a point where in my head, I'm just like, I'm sad, right? It's like seeing your family argue. I don't want to see my brothers argue, right? I don't want to see like them argue. And like it kind of makes me sad. It also discourages me because I'm just like, I want them, because like, the argument, okay, let me give you a bit of context. The argument, without giving too much information, the argument was essentially content, how they don't feel passionate enough for this type of content, whereas some of us do feel that passion within that type of content. And having those different ideas clash with each other, it just makes me feel discouraged in a way where it's like, do they have the same amount of passion as me? Do I have the same amount of passion as them, right? It's just that question of like, shit, like, are they gonna really fight over that? Why can't we like calm down and just think of other solutions, right? Because like, yeah, like, arguments it's tough, bro. It's really sad, you know? And especially if you work 60 hours per week at that time and you're going through that, it's very like disheartening. And I know at that point I just want to go home, right? I even went to the washroom and it just broke down in tears because I was so stressed, man. Like it's just like seeing them argue 60 hours of working, bro. It's tough, man. It's tough. But yeah, how did what?
How did it like end?
How did it end was pretty much how all arguments go, bro. Even with your girlfriend or your parents, bro. It's literally like they argue, like a lot of heat in the moment, and then give us maybe not talk for like maybe an hour or two, and then apologize, and then start reconciliating how to resolve the issue. That's it.
I see.
That kind of, a lot of us were discouraged. A lot of us were kind of sad and kind of mad, but yeah. Yeah.
I like to close it off by asking our guests to give our audience a little challenge.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything top of mind?
A challenge, huh?
Yep.
Wait, what kind of challenge?
Could be anything.
Challenge.
As long as they're actionable.
Actionable. Okay, all right. How about this? Wait, does it have to be like it could be anything? Can it be only sports creators or everyone? Anyone can do it.
Everyone. Okay,
you know what? If there's any of you guys hearing or listening or watching this right now, my challenge and for you is that if you're ever going through something, whether it just be content creation or like life stuff, feel free to contact me. Mainly because outside of content creation, I'm a very, very broken person, right? I'm not trying to sound dramatic or shit, but I did grow up in a very fucked up environment. I have a very, very bad upbringing, right? That's why like I'm a very emotional person even today. Like when I think about, there's a lot of times where I work with CantoMando and I'm in a peak part of CantoMando, peak part of my life. For example, like chilling with Uncle Roger, for example. I sometimes just look at the window and just be like, fuck, man, I have a very bad upbringing, but I'm glad everything turned out well. Like if you even just life stuff, like just feel free to message me. I'll try my best to hear. I'll try my best to give you the best advice I can. But the most importantly, I'll do what I'll do by listening and hearing you out. Because at the end of the day, I'll never fight back with you. I'll find the best solution for you, and I'll always try my best. I'll always try my best to find the best solution for you. But yeah, because at the end of the day, I want everyone to be happy. Everyone who's in my life, I want to be happy and successful, and that's the way I am. I don't wish failure for anyone. I don't hold grudges against anyone. I don't even hate my enemies. So yeah, that's the way I am, man. But yeah,
I love it. Just like CantoMando, just bring joy to people who watch it.
Exactly, bro. I'm a changed man because of them. So yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah,
man. Where can we find you?
Yeah, so you can find me at Ronald Chen, so RONALDCHENS on Instagram. And if you want to DM, if you want to follow or even or even DM me on my photography account. It's RONSHOTS, Ron Shots. But yeah, that's me, bro.
Sweet. Now, thank you so much for hopping on.
Yeah, of course, bro. Thanks for having me, man. It's been fun, bro. It's been great having a deep conversation with you. I know it's with you right now, but I know a lot of people will be listening to this after. So yeah. Hey, remember, guys, make sure to share this fucking podcast because I want this podcast to be big. All right, I want Alex to interview the biggest creators one day. You know what I'm saying?
Sweet. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, thanks, bro. We appreciate it, bro. Peace, bro. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.